Assalamu alaikum. Inshallah, we're gonna inshallah begin with Shazad, and he'll begin the program, and then we'll get on with our regular scheduled program, inshallah. Thank you everyone for joining.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. On behalf of Sunnah Trust Foundation, I would like to welcome you all to our third installment of the journey of the Falcon and the Finch. Inshallah, so you can know my name is Shazad Mahmood, and I've been a proud member of the board at Sunnah Trust Foundation going on 5 years now. Just a little bit about why I joined. About 5-6 years ago, after we had our first child, me and my wife started thinking about what were going to be our options when our daughter became of age, to go to school. And I think it's a question that many young parents have. And so we started down a journey of researching the schools and public schools, charter schools, all in our area. And, and we came across an information session that was being held by Sunnah at the Long Key Nature Preserve. And alhamdulillah, we went in there wanting to learn more about the school, and we did. We learned quite a bit about Sunnah Prep, its unique model, its soul-centered approach to learning, and it really spoke to us. It really was in line with a lot of our beliefs and this idea of having one-on-one learning that not only feeds a child's intellect, but also feeds their spiritual heart. And what we also left with, which was amazing, was that we found out that Sunnah Trust was more than just Sunnah Prep, that it was a place, almost a community center, that would not only be assisting children, but young adults. It would give them a place where they could congregate and meet and talk about whatever they were going through their family halakas. And not only that, but also a place where our elders, what we like to call our guardians, could come and feel honored and respected, and again have a place that is safe, that they could congregate and enjoy with not only themselves, but with their children and with their grandchildren. So from that point on, I had to get involved, and alhamdulillah, I had to do whatever I could to support. So, inshallah, I wanted to give you guys just a little bit of background on myself, and I'm hoping that through this webinar, those who are new to the Sunnah family can take a look at our website. As you all know, our gala, we had to cancel it due to the coronavirus issue that we're having, and we're trying to get donations via our website. You can see it so please go to it, and please learn as much as you can about what we're trying to do and the programs that are such a huge need for our community, inshallah. So with that, I'd like to hand it off to my good friend and brother Rehan, and go on through our journey with Falcon and Finch.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I pray that you're doing well. I want to just thank Shazad for jumping in and helping us do a little bit of an introduction and welcome. And I'm really happy to be joining all of you today as well. We usually begin every week by recognizing our elders, and then recognizing parents and families, and then we always end up in a really good place, in our happy place, with the children that join us every week. So if you give me permission, I just want to speak to the elders and the parents and the young adults as well that might be listening in first, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. الحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. نويت تعلم وتعليم وتذكر وتذكير ونفع والانتفاع والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على تمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم والدعاء إلى الهدى والدلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه الله ومرضاته وقربه وثوابه سبحانه وتعالى. So assalamu alaikum everyone, and thank you again for joining. I want to speak first and foremost to our guardian elders. If anyone may be listening, the barakah of our work is because we're standing on the shoulders of our elders and our loved ones who preceded us in khidmah and in setting the example and establishing the communities that we're living in today. So we want to just recognize all of you and thank all of you, and with your permission, kind of do these programs for your children and your grandchildren, inshallah. There's benefit in it. Someone shared with me the other day that their mother, the grandmother of their children, listens into the morning assembly programs that we have every day, and how she's finding much fulfillment in it, and it's a happy place and a joyous way to start her day during the week. And so we were just really humbled by that and really honored by that a grandmother in the community is joining her children and her grandchildren every morning in our morning assembly. So we want to just invite anyone out there who might be at home and who might need something to start their day every day at 8:45. We've opened up the Sanat Prep Morning Assembly that we typically would do here at the center where I'm kind of broadcasting from. Every morning we start our day at 8:45 with a morning assembly where we begin in the name of Allah and making an intention, and then a short reminder and salams, and that's how we would start our day every day. And so we felt that it was something that we wanted to share with the community. We know there's a lot of kids that are at home and learning from home, a lot of parents trying to figure out how to teach and educate their children from home, and many of us are set up on the dining table or in our living room and family rooms, and things are upside down. Alhamdulillah, Sanad's blended learning model, we were able to pivot very quickly to teach the kids from home. And we felt that, if we were able to do something good for our own children at the center, we wanted to really extend that to other children as well. So it's free and it's open to the community. Every morning we broadcast live at 8:45 a.m. on Facebook and our Instagram channels. And I think, inshallah, next week we'll be starting to do that on YouTube as well. So you're all welcome to join and start your day every day at 8:45 with us, inshallah. It's I think a special way and a very spiritual way to start the day. And I think that it'll give some structure to families that are kind of learning how to teach their kids at home. It'll give some structure, inshallah. The other thing that we're also trying to do is we're trying to open up some select courses that we teach our students. For example, high school world history and other subjects in elementary and middle school. One or two of them we're planning to open up during the week, so that if you have a child in that age or that in that grade, that they can join that class as well. So for example, I teach world history for high school students in 9th and 10th grade. If you have a high school student at home that wants to jump in that class, they're welcome to join. And the other thing that we're hoping to do is to open up some of our Islamic studies classes as well. Please make dua for us, inshallah. Whatever we can offer to the community, we want to do, we just want to pay it forward. It's our yaqeen that our good, whatever good that we can offer to the community in these days, that Allah will reciprocate that good to the foundation. And Shazad mentioned, we've had to make some difficult decisions, including canceling our benefit gala, but we have certainty that Allah is Ar-Razaq, and that this is our opportunity to do good, and Allah will return that good to us as well. So to the elders, again, if you have any needs, if you have any social needs, any personal needs that we can be of khidmah and service for you, please reach out to the foundation, and either we will personally facilitate it, or we'll put you in touch with people who can, inshallah. To the parents out there, and maybe young couples and adults that might be listening in, I just want to offer some nasiha to myself and to all of you, that I believe this is a great opportunity for us, after being concerned and anxious and taking the proper precautionary measures. I think that we also need to look at the other side of circumstances and see the opportunity that we have, that Allah has provided in these days and these nights. And one of the things that I think is of utmost importance and should be at the among the center concern for families is how they can spend time with their children and their loved ones and their spouses. This is, I think, a great opportunity for us to repair our relationships with our children, if we have children, to repair or improve our relationship with our spouses, if we have them, and to also repair and improve our relationships with our parents and our in-laws as well. And also, in our tradition, we know that our neighbors have rights upon us as well. So this is an opportunity to really repair relationships and improve upon relationships that are in our life every day that unfortunately maybe a lot of times we end up ignoring. The rights of our neighbors, the rights of our parents, the rights of our in-laws, the rights of our spouses, and the rights of our children. With regarding children, I would say there's nothing easier than to just play with them. And for many of us, alhamdulillah, we have perhaps more time in or near the home. One of the greatest and most magical things that you can do with your children is to play with them. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was never too busy to play with a child. Even in the midst of his ibadah, he was never busy to play with a child. There are stories of him being in sujood and his grandson coming on his back and him delaying coming up from sujood so that his grandson could enjoy himself a little bit longer. And there's stories that we've heard from our teachers from the seerah that the Prophet would come up from ruku and the Sahaba that were praying behind him would see the grandson's face looking back at them over his shoulder. And so the Prophet, peace be upon him, was never too busy, was never too concerned, was never too overwhelmed, was never too anxious to bring a smile to the face of a child. And it's one of the things that we learned from our teacher, Habib Qadim, Allah preserve him, that one of the sunnahs of the Prophet was that every day he would make a child smile. And so we want to encourage, the mothers and the fathers out there, the aunts and the uncles and the cousins and the relatives to really make an effort to make children feel whole, to make children feel welcome, and to play with them. And then the second thing that I would encourage myself and my family and all of yours is to make dhikr with your family. This is a great, great opportunity to sit with your wife or your loved one or your parent or your sibling or your child and make dhikr. And we will never regret these days and these nights if we know that we spent them with a little bit more play and a little bit more pray. We will never regret these days. We will never look back upon them with distress, because we would have seen that Allah gave us, not only did He change our circumstances, but He gave us an opportunity to play more with our children and our loved ones and to pray more with them as well. And frankly, for all of the adults listening, including the fakir, we may actually find out how much or how little we have to offer these people. Maybe many of us, we presume that we had a lot to offer our neighbors. We had a lot to offer our parents. We have a lot to offer our spouses. We have a lot, we offer so much to our children. And the reality is that we have not been offering that much, or we don't have too much to offer. So if we recognize that, it becomes an opportunity for us to improve and fill ourselves with light and goodness, so that inshallah we can be better citizens and better husbands and better fathers and better neighbors and better brothers and sisters, inshallah. To my young friends, to my young adults, the teenagers and those in school age, whether they be in college or middle or high school, I just want to remind you about something that we reminded our high school students about this week, that your spiritual role and potential is unlimited. I believe like so many Muslim communities in North America are sitting on a gold mine in the youth that they have in their community. But we fail to kind of remind you all how special you are, how important you are, and how significant you are. Your dua is significant. Your dua is necessary. Your dua is needed. So my humble request to all of you is that if you can use these days and these nights to increase in your dua for humanity, to increase in your dua for yourself, and to increase in your dua for the conditions that we're in. And I would just say that never underestimate the role that you play spiritually in our community. And one of the things that you could do in addition to your dua, if you find that hard, send a lot of salawat on the Prophet, peace be upon him. And I have great confidence that the Prophet ﷺ will that salawat will open your heart and help you and facilitate your ibadah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So may Allah make it easy for you, and may Allah accept your dua, and inshallah bring you closer to your families and bring you closer to your creator and to his Habib sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Now, to begin our program with Falcon and Finch, I want to welcome all of our youngest friends, our youngest brothers and sisters listening today, and all of my friends. Please stay and join in our discussion. So I just want to recognize that, mashallah, we've had an overwhelming response to the Falcon and Finch story. We've had families in the Netherlands reach out to us. We've had families in all throughout Canada, from Alberta all the way to Quebec, participating. We've had kids send in videos, obviously throughout North America and in Florida certainly, and in South Florida in specific. We've had an overwhelming response. Children are sending in their drawings, and we want to encourage families to make this a teaching tool for them to have, if not on the weekend or throughout the week, where the kids can draw pictures of the story and send it in. They can send those drawings to attika@sanatrust.org, ATTIQA@sanatrust.org. We have kids I can see right here in the chat from Kansas. We've had from Alberta, and everywhere in between. We had a family, a mother and son, send something from Milwaukee. So mashallah, it's been really, really wonderful. We've had a kid actually send a video from Alberta, a short video that it's like a rainbow, it fills your life with joy and color in these kind of dark and scary times. So Ibrahim, we got your video and we want to thank you for it. And just all of the families out there, just really encourage your children to be happy. And if this can be one way to make them happy and be a happy distraction for them, we're just honored and humbled by that. So let's begin. This is my favorite part. So we have been following the story of Falcon and Finch. So far, what we've covered in the first 2 weeks, we have the origin story of Finch, and we have the origin story of Falcon. For those of us who are just joining, I'm not going to read everything again, but I will share with you that we learned that Finch, he was born alone at the bottom of a well, and Falcon, he lives at the top of Mount Sky. You're gonna be while I'm reading, you're gonna be starting to see some of the pictures and the drawings that kids have drawn from all around North America. And so where we're at now in the story. So Finch has been born. He's found out of the well. He's climbed up Mount Sky, and then last week we learned that he met Falcon. And then Falcon invited him to take rest in his nest at the top of the tree. And then Falcon started to share with him different things that he's learned. And one of the things that he learned from Finch was about humility. And so we'll read a few of the last lines from last week, and then we'll begin the new story. And then I have a special announcement before I read and after. So the special announcement before is that by popular demand, kids have been asking for me to read more of the story than I have been reading. And we've heard that over and over and over again. So, Sanad loves the kids. So we're going to actually read an extended version of the story today. And we're going to meet two new characters. We're going to meet two new animals because we're doing kind of an extended version of the story today. So I'm very excited. And so we'll read a few lines from last week, and then we'll begin. So a lot of kids are happy. There's one angry kid. I can see his emoji, but most of the kids are happy. Alhamdulillah. So let's begin. So he says the last few lines. No, this is Falcon speaking. No need to thank me. I was shown not by choice, but by prophets and guides who were true, sent by Allah to teach all of this. So what I share with you is only a gift given to me by those who showed love and who were given a message from Allah above. We will learn more as we now go forth. Let's spread our feathers and now face north. So that was from last week. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Falcon moved forward, but Finch was shy. Would Falcon walk with him or want to just fly? Falcon went forward and then turned around. Finch, why so still, as though stuck to the ground? Is everything okay? The journey begins for us. You have been down so long. It's time to go up. Beyond this mountain and meeting me, we have to go on to the furthest lote tree. But Finch could not speak. Could he tell Falcon not to fly? The Creator gave him strong wings to navigate the skies. But before he could speak, Falcon came close. Look, my friend Finch, our bond cannot be broke. I know with flight I have been blessed, but without you on this journey, I could care less. So we walk until it is your time to spread your wings open like mine. Together, they stepped forward on the other side of Mount Sky. Finch was so nervous he could barely open his eyes. Finally, he peeked a few steps ahead. Trees upon trees, but all of them dead. He had never seen this and wanted to learn more. Falcon guided them to a path not traveled before. On this path, said Falcon, we'll find our answers. The friends we'll meet, they'll be our lanterns. These trees, now let's find out what happened to them. Suddenly they heard a sound from within. One of the trees that was on the path, could it be that it was speaking, or were they going mad? Then from inside a small hollow hole came a voice from the tree, calling them to come close. Can you guys guess what it's going to be? Falcon and Finch moved close to the tree. They thought maybe a bird it could be. They looked all around and heard a whisper above and saw the beautiful, glowing white dove. She said she had knowledge of some of the secrets, and she would share it with the first creatures she met with. Now, what would she share about these trees? What did she know, and what did she see? Dove began to share what she saw. Before she said anything, she said, Bismillah. I will share with you only the truth. Without exaggeration, I tell this to you. These trees are not dead, but only asleep. And before this sleep, I could hear them weep. And before they wept, this is not a guess, they were alive, awake, and truly blessed. Every color in the world covered the land. Close your eyes, only then can you imagine. Finch then asked, so when did it change? When the creatures forgot, and they saw them all the same? Unlike us, be grateful for what's given to you, for Allah can easily have blessings removed. Show care for blessings, even if few. This is called having shukr and gratitude. The trees were affected by the lack of love from creatures they served, even this dove. They began to cry. Nothing changed for us. Only the colors changed to this brown-colored rust. And before long, only the silence survived. And now in this forest, it's only you and I. Go past this forest now and see what you find. I believe there is hope and a world full of light. Find more helpers along your way, but stay on the path and do not stray. Give the friends you see my sincere salams. I leave you now, so your journey goes on. Falcon and Finch gave their heartfelt thanks, returned the salam, and began to think, who will they find to teach the next lesson? This knowledge they found, it was truly blessed. A teacher could take any form, in fact, a tortoise, a hare, a mouse, a cat. They will learn more, but before their next lesson, they knew they must first renew their intention. Should we read more or stop there? I think we should read more. A lot of the kids are saying we should read more. So I promise we will read more, but let's go over some of the lessons that we learned in this first section. So among the lessons is the importance of love, mahabba in Arabic, and Love can be shown many, many different ways. One of the main ways we show love is through kindness, right? And through respect and through humility and being in service of people and sharing knowledge. The other thing that we learned in this section is being grateful. Why did the trees turn brown, or why did the trees start to go to sleep? Because the creatures in the forest began to take them for granted, and they stopped showing gratitude not only to the trees but to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so this is a very important lesson as well. The other thing that we've learned is that blessings are all around us, big and small. And then finally, the last few lessons that we learned are that teachers can take any form. You might see a bird in your backyard. You might find an insect in the grass. You might find in any way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can teach you, through nature and through your parents and through the teachers that you have. So be mindful of that and be always awake and ready to learn, because your teacher can come in any way, in any form. And then finally, always stay on a path that has been trodden. You don't see Falcon and Finch going off a path. They're always staying on the path that their parents and the elders and the people before them of knowledge have walked. And then last but not least, they're always renewing their intention for it to be good and for it to be sincere. So let's continue, inshallah, to the next chapter. Now that they know why they should go on, they were eager to learn and knew who to rely on. That was Allah who had guided them thus far, kept them safe in the day and under the stars. Next, past the forest they went, but exactly where? Were they lost again? No, they found a bear. A bear who seemed to live in these parts, but not always. This was for him a new start. See, he lived in the forest above once before, when things were different and creatures didn't always want more. But now that greed had caused the forest to wither, he moved to the plains and next to this river. This is where Falcon and Finch found him, at the foothills near where the river bends. Salam, with peace we greet you, bear. Share with us knowledge of all that you are aware. Sure, my friends, you have come a long way to me. I am nothing special, just someone in need. But it is my prophet. It is as my prophet said it would be. The world is always changing, and this is what I have seen. Thus I don't stay fixed in only one place, but rather learn everywhere, and I never race. Take your time too, you'll find great things if you do. Now let me share something important with you. My home, I thought, it was the forest for me, but I had to move and nothing else could I see, until I put my trust in Allah and closed my eyes. Then I heard the river, to my great surprise. I followed my heart and found great peace, where the plains, this hill, and this river meet. So now I have learned that home is my heart. I keep it clean and always find where to start, with trust and belief that He is always with me, as He is with you, as I am sure you have seen. Now trust you too, and go on furthermore. Beyond the river and hills you'll find in store for you great things and knowledge as well. Trust in Allah and in His divine will. So that's where we'll end, mashallah, for this week. We learned a lot of important lessons, so many important lessons that you might need to go back and rewind and listen again with your moms or your dads and your families, so that you can make really colorful and creative drawings that you guys are seeing next to me. Every week we're going to share the new ones that we receive. So this week you have a lot to draw, right? We met the dove. We learned about the trees that were colorful and now they're all kind of a brown color. And we've learned that the bear, he used to live in that forest, but now he lives down by the river, and the things that he taught Falcon and Finch about seeking knowledge wherever you may be, about trusting, about keeping your heart clean, no matter if it's a big heart or a small heart or an old heart or a young heart or a dove's heart or a bear's heart, right? All of us have to make effort to keep our heart clean. And when we make effort to do that, then we're able to see what Allah wants us to see clearly. So may Allah keep your hearts clean and give you the ability to see clearly. And we're all following you. The children have the clearest hearts. So all of the adults and the older people, we're all following you. So I'm looking forward to all of the drawings that you'll be sharing, inshallah. And we'll share as many of them as we can. And this brings me to some of the important announcements that I have now that we're coming to the end of our time together this week. The important announcements are that we're still accepting the drawings. You can send them to the email address attiqa@sanadtrust.org. We'll share in the YouTube chat and the Facebook chat. And we are promising, inshallah, to reward everyone whose drawings come in. And we'll pick some winners and share them with you on our final meeting. Which brings me to the next important announcement, is that our last meeting will be on April 18. It's not going to be next week. We've actually extended our series a little bit longer. So the last meeting of Falcon and Finch will be on April 18th. And that's where we'll share kind of all of the drawings that we received and make an announcement about winners and all of that, inshallah. So you'll have to pay attention for that. The reason why we're meeting on April 18th and next week as well is because next week, April 11th, is going to be very, very special. And let me tell you why it's going to be special. So all of the parents and the adults, I specifically want to speak to you for a minute. You know, my dear brother and board member Shahzad Mahmood at the beginning of the program mentioned that we had to make a very difficult decision just before, at the beginning of March. We had our benefit gala scheduled to begin to be on the first or second week of March. And that's when a lot of these measures were being brought forward in terms of the COVID-19 precautionary measures and things and recommendations that people should be doing. And so we made the decision to cancel our benefit gala. And if we're honest, you know, I'll say that there's a part of the nafs, and this happens in organizational cultures as well, where you might think that this is a difficult decision, or this is a hard decision, or this is a decision that might cause some distress on the foundation and the needs that the foundation has. But, you know, if we've learned anything from our Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family and his companions, is that whenever you make decisions based on haqq, whenever you make decisions based on hikmah, whenever you make decisions based on ilm, and whenever you make decisions solely for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and for the benefit of humanity, then there is never a negative outcome. And so we have full certainty in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's being the dispenser of sustenance, ar-razaq, and the one that we have certainty is in Allah. And so having said that, on April 11th, we actually want to offer a little bit of what we had hoped for in the gala. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Is that the gala actually gives us an opportunity to meet the community and be re-inspired by the needs of the community and by the mahabba and the love that we receive from the community. That's, for me, the biggest loss. And so we had scheduled, my dear friend and teacher Sheikh Yahya wrote us to join us for the benefit gala. And the ticket was purchased, and it was the day before that we canceled, and really asked him to stay with his family and to be safe and not to get on the flight. But alhamdulillah, without hesitation, he said that I will be there for whatever you need. And so he's going to be joining us next Saturday on April 11th for a special Sanad of Love online series program. And I'm also happy to announce that my other dear friend who was also invited to the benefit gala, Hassan Shibli, the director of CARE Florida, he will also be joining us. Both of these brothers, mashallah, mean a whole lot to me. And without hesitation, they said that they would be there for Sanad Trust Foundation. So next Saturday, April 11th at 12 p.m., I would like all of you and all of your families and your friends to join. It will be a really unique program. It's not going to be a webinar. It's not going to be a marathon of speakers and lectures. It's actually going to be more of a fireside conversation. where Sheikh Yahya and I will have a conversation on the theme of the American Muslim identity and family. And what does that mean? And what are the characteristic traits of the American Muslim family and identity that must be there? And how do we preserve them, right? And how do we cultivate them? So it's going to be a conversation between the two of us, and questions will be related to that topic. Then our brother Hassan will be joining us as well to talk about the importance of institutions and family and community and the preservation of family and community and the role that institutions play in that. And so I think it will be a little bit different than what you have been seeing. Like I said, it's not going to be a webinar, and it's not going to be a series of lectures back. It's going to be a very short program. We plan to keep it within an hour, but I hope that Allah put barakah in it, and everything that we had hoped for in the benefit program, the gala program, that Allah give us more than what we could have imagined through this effort that we're making, inshallah. So please invite all of your families and all of your friends to register for the program. It's the same link that we've shared, www.sanattrust.org/love series. If you're not able to join, then we ask that you might consider being generous in this time. If we've learned anything from our tradition as well, it's that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put a lot of barakah in sadaqah. And sadaqah is an expiation for sins, and it's also an alleviation for distress. So if you're in a position to give, or you know people who are in a position to give, we ask you to invite them to that program next week, and to invite them to visit sanattrust.org/love. That's the campaign page that we've set up. Our goal is to raise 100,000, which is about what we raised in the gala typically. Alhamdulillah. Our goal is to raise that amount by the end of Ramadan, inshallah. May Allah make it easy for us and give us more than maybe what we imagine. But you can visit that website to give a donation, to make a pledge. And we ask you, inshallah, to just make dua for all of us and the efforts that we're making for children, for families, and community, inshallah. With that being said, I'm just going to check the chat real quick if there's any questions. We have staff members in both the chats on YouTube and on the Facebook page. The last thing that I would just announce is that Sanad Prep Learning Center's enrollment is currently open for the year 2020-2021. Alhamdulillah, there's not enough good things that I can say about Sanad Prep Learning Center, what it has meant for me and my family and my children. I have 2 children that are in the program. And I think that if you speak to any Sanad Prep family right now, they'll tell you about how much of a blessing it's been for us to kind of take Sanad Prep online. Their kids remain in an accredited curriculum. They're still learning 4 to 5 hours every day. The families are relaxed and know that they're being supervised and guided in a good way. So we want to invite everyone to consider enrolling next year. Enrollment is open. We have limited space actually, because inshallah next week I'll try to give you a tour of the facility that I'm in right now. We can probably only accommodate about 40 students in this space. So we only have just over 10 seats available for next year from kindergarten through 12th grade. So, I pray that you make istikhara and have conversations with your family and really consider it. I believe it's the best place for a child to be, and alhamdulillah for that. So please consider registering. I think the information is on the website as well. You can visit there. You can ask Sister Fariza, who's in the chat as well, for any questions that you might have. And then the last thing that I want to say as we come to the end is I just want to give a shout out to my older brother. It's his birthday today. And he's always been by my side and kind of the biggest supporter of everything that I've done. And I continue to learn kind of humility and grace from him. So we want to wish him a happy birthday and hope that his family makes it as special as possible for him, inshallah. And give a shout out to my nephews and my niece and my own children, Jamal and Tabassum, at home, inshallah. So thank you for all of that. Let's make our dua, inshallah. So we have the most important part of our dua at the end of our program is to know that all of the children who are listening right now, I hope they're still listening. I hope they haven't fallen asleep. If they have, just start to nudge them and wake them up or call them back to the computer screen, because we really, really, really need the hands of the children to be raised right now. So everyone from Ibrahim and Zahra in Alberta to my nieces and nephews in Montreal. I'm not going to start naming them because it'll take about 30 minutes, but all of my nieces and nephews in Montreal. So we cover the West, we cover the Northeast, and we're going to come all the way down south to Ziad and Adam and Tabassum and Jamal and all of the Son of Prep students, Shakir and everyone else. We have Iman in Kansas, so we're going to go back west to the United States. The young boy in Milwaukee, we're going to go up to the Midwest. All of the kids from Alberta to Miami and everywhere in between, inshallah, we want to ask you to raise your hands with me so we can make dua for you and your parents and your grandparents and your communities and the community of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and all of the people on the earth, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. نويت الفاتحة إلى كفات عباد الله الصالحين والوالدين وجميع المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات أن الله يغفر لهم ويرحمهم وينفعون بأسرارهم وبركاتهم. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept the dua of all of the children who are raising their hands today in this moment, that Allah accept all of their good dua, all of their good intentions and all of their good works and their deeds. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward their parents and their loved ones and their grandparents. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect all of them and their families in this time. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give everyone good health and long life, to put barakah in their hal, in their state, and to put barakah in their mal, in their sustenance, and their wealth. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that anyone who has fallen ill in these days, we ask Allah to give them shifa and a complete recovery. And we ask any of our loved ones who are aged or ill or dealing with any difficulty, any sadness, any darkness, or any pain and any illness, that Allah give them shifa and make their life easy for them. And may Allah put barakah in all of our time and put barakah in our relationships and the opportunities that we have. May Allah give us tawfiq in all of that and protect all of you and your families. And for all of our children, may Allah accept their dua to all of our loved ones who have passed away. And to our honorable Prophet, we send our Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim. Ghayri al-maghdubi alayhim wa la-dhalin. Ameen. Ameen. Inshallah, Allah reward all of you and thank all of you. Please make dua for Sunnah Trust Foundation and the work that we're doing. May Allah put in your heart a good opinion of us, and may Allah expand your generosity and your good opinion, inshallah. Until next week, April 11th, remember, very important, we have Sheikh Yahya joining us. He will be in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We have Brother Hassan joining us. He'll be in Tampa, Florida. And you have Ustad Rahan here at Sunnah Trust Foundation. And we hope that all of you will be a part of the conversation. We'll be taking questions as well. So if you have questions, you can send those in advance or put them in the chat while we're having the fireside conversation with Sheikh Yahya and Hassan. And we'll try to have real-time question and answers as well. So please spread the word. If you see any of our posts on social media, please share them in WhatsApp groups and on your own channels. It's the best thing that you can do for us. We're a small foundation, so the more that you can help amplify and increase our voice, the better it is for us. So Allah keep all of you safe and preserve all of you. Enjoy your weekend. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.